the way people perceive us can always have an effect on how they understand us. Like that's just a big part. Their perception of you gonna affect how they understand you. Like so you can literally say some words to somebody, but based on what they think of you, there's a decent chance it's gonna affect how they hear, how they understand whatever you had to say.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just hoping it would change. I've been going through some
what it is, y'all. Welcome back to the StoryHouse show, man. We finna do what we do. Off rip, man. This episode coming out mad late. And like, it's just a late episode. I had so many times where I was like, all right, bet. I'm straight. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna get it out on time. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm gonna get it out on time. It's coming out today. Whatever day y'all actually watching this. I recorded this days late, but man, it's all good. Hopefully y'all still love it. Hopefully y'all still rock with the content. This, you know what I mean? Trying to hit y'all with this evergreen content, so it don't really matter if it's coming out late, but I really wish I wasn't as late as I am. But yeah, like I said, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We finna start y'all off with the temperature check. So we're gonna touch base on last week's episode. Last week I think was pay attention to your friends. Yeah. So yeah, man. Hopefully I rock with that. Make sure y'all paying attention to y'all friends, y'all checking in, making sure you actually know what's going on with your friends, doing the extra little mile, asking the extra questions, because you know what I mean. You can be the difference between somebody really a situation going all the way left for them, or if it kind of like getting right. So, you know what I mean? Just making sure you can do your little part to be there for the folks that you care about. You can't be there for everybody, but for the ones that you can, do what you can when you can. You feel me? What else we got? Man, so one of the reasons why this episode late, I ain't had this weekend to record because I hit a trip to New Orleans, Jeremy, hit NOLA. I ain't been to the city in a minute. And it was a trip. It was a trip, you feel me? Like, so rolled out with my peoples and shit. We all wanna going down there cutting up and shit. And you know, New Orleans, you done been in New Orleans, you already know it's a whole lot of cut up down there. Man, day one, cooling, vibing, you know what I mean? Pull up in the evening type shit. Man, when I tell you I was chilling, you know what I mean, on bourbon, goddamn, my boy hit me with like a few too many shots and I wasn't thinking about it. Man, wound up throwing back, getting drunk. Not like stupid drunk, not like throwing up drunk, not like sloppy drunk, but I want to get drunk. Like, I don't get drunk. Like, I mean, I'm grown. I ain't got time to be, me personally, I don't feel like, ain't no point in me getting drunk. A nice little lean, nice little tipsy, like little space, vibing. That's my area. That's what I'm trying to get. I feel like that should be the goal if you drink, to like just make sure you catch your vibe, you and your energy, but ain't no point in being too far. And so I went too far. And so I was like, man, cause I got spaces of the night where I got a blurry moment here and a blurry moment here. And then that parts of it, I just don't even know. So I'm like, man, this is not how I'm trying to cut up. So in my mind, I'm like, man, I wish I would have just told bro, hey, look, man, I can't drink these shots. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but I can't do this. So yeah, man, while I'm getting on it, it was still a good time. But you know what I mean? Like for me, I just know anytime I'm out of character, I'm out of box, I'm like, I'm not moving how I like moving. I don't like that. I don't like that. So like that that night bothered me a little bit, but still vibing. You know what I mean? Hit the next night, we out here doing our thing. Rain messed with it a little bit. Still wanna have a little bopping energy type shit, doing what we supposed to do. Shit, we really ain't do too much. I ain't gonna lie. Like that trip food wise for me wasn't doing what I wanted New Orleans to do. So next time I go to New Orleans, I might not even go out. That's a lie. But try to go out there and do my thing and get the food. Like in my mind, food is number one. I'm trying to big my back. I'm trying to act like I ain't never had food before. You feel me? I'm trying to have all the everything, Cajun, Creole, po' boy. I'm trying to have the gumbo. I mean, I don't eat pork, so like, can you have beef sausage in there or something like that? But yeah, man, trying to really cut up next time I hit NOLA. So yeah, we're gonna do that. But overall, man, it was a dope ass trip. Had fun. Had one with a good group of people. Everybody enjoyed ourselves. So that was a little dope little thing. Coming back, like I said, I ain't get to record. I believe, as I feel, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all do. You need that buffer day between that vacation. You need that day when you come back where you do not go right back into working. Chill, shake back, get back into it. I ain't gonna lie. I took a buffer day, but I still kind of took a few days to like really get back, like in my energy, like my mindset, right? It wasn't until like I had a work event that I had to go to where it was like, hey, you can't BS, you gotta shake back, you gotta be on it, to where I was really, really on my shit. But yeah, man, so it was a good trip. I feel like it's super important to make sure you have that buffer day like that. That's a difference maker right there for me. But that buffer day really should have been a day I should have recorded this podcast and been ready to get it out for y'all. But shit went however it went. And it is what it is. We here today. It's going to be good. So y'all probably going to get another episode pretty soon right after this one drop because I do want to get back to like our regularly scheduled programming when y'all can come and rock with your boy AO. So yeah, man, I feel like that's for the most part what I done had going on. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to catch y'all up with, man. Work kind of busy as shit, man. Goddamn. But you know what I mean? You gotta appreciate it. It's a blessing, you know what I mean? I got a job, some people don't. And we able to do what we doing, so I ain't gonna run into too much on that type of shit. So with that said, you know what I mean? Welcome back to the show, man. You hear me? We in the motherfucking house, dog. It's a StoryHouse show, man. You rocking with your boy AO. We doing what we doing. Knock, knock. Hey, who the fuck at the door? Is y'all motherfuckers watching, listening and shit? I appreciate y'all pulling up in the house. Hey, man, come through. We finna cut up. We finna act how we do. We finna talk how we do when it's real niggas in the house. And y'all, I mean, if you ain't a nigga, you still an honorary nigga because I'm fucking with you. But don't say nigga, my nigga. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? That's how we doing. So, yeah, man, you in the house. We finna do our thing. We gonna chop it up. We gonna kick shit, real shit, bullshit a little bit, and get back to some more real shit, man. That's how we supposed to do. Get comfortable. You in the StoryHouse show podcast, rocking with your boy AO. Let's get into it, man. And I don't know if y'all noticing it, and I ain't even realized it before. Like I know a few weeks back, I think it was, I was like, shout out to God is Dope, or like kind of shouting out a brand. This, I think, the third God is Dope shirt I done wore on here. Like obviously I rock with them. They be having like dope little things. I'm a believer in God, so you know what I mean. I like to what I believe is y'all can believe whatever you want to. Y'all have y'all belief system. Respect anybody else. You know what I mean. I respect individualism, whatever your beliefs are. But I do feel like it's dope, and this one was want to hit y'all with today. So yeah, man, we rocking. Oh, and I rock a lot of bow companies. You know what I mean? Black owned. I try to support when I can, as long as they're a dope company putting out dope stuff. Hey, look, I'm gonna rock with them. The hat I got on today, I guess I'm gonna put y'all on that. This Ken Apparel. They be doing a lot of satin line stuff. So like this bucket hat right here, satin line. They do like satin line hoodies. Whole lot of cool stuff. So like that's a brand I really say shout out to, black owned company. I think out of like DC area, something like that, DMV or something like that. They do a lot of cool stuff. I know they got like buckets, they got like the top cut. So they got a whole lot of stuff for like that accommodates a space for your hair. You know what I mean? Our black hair sometimes be a little bit wilder, be a little bit more poofed out, be a little bit more taking up space, your locks, whether it's long or it's a fro or whatever you got. They got a lot of stuff that'll kind of accommodate, make sure you got that satin lining so it ain't messing up your hair, ain't taking the moisture, ain't doing too much for it, giving a nice little vibe. So shout out to Ken Apparel. On that note, man, we get into the motherfucking event. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready to rock with me, talk some shit on this goddamn, I think 18 episode or something like that. I really don't be talking about the episode numbers, but make sure y'all check in with me, man. Hit the like, subscribe buttons and all them shits. I think I'm gonna like run it over here. Make sure y'all hit them buttons and tap in with me for real. So yeah, on that note, we're going into the topic. For today's event is about the desire to be understood. You know what I mean? This is something that we all, like regardless of however much you want to kick it, we all have a desire to be understood. It's just a basic desire, it's a basic interaction. Because one, it's just shit. If you communicate with somebody, you want to be understood. If I say something to you, I want you to understand it. Like it's silly as hell if I'm saying something hoping that you don't understand. Like what's the point? And sometimes you might be what's the word? Being sarcastic or something like that. So you don't want somebody to understand, or you doing some kind of playing around. But most communication, like right now with this podcast, I'm hoping I'm saying it, speaking in a way to where y'all understand me. So we all have a desire to be understood, and this is like with good communication, you gonna have a level of understanding. But the thing is, a lot of times, shit, we feel like we're not understood, or we may not be understood. So that's what today's topic gonna really dive into. I'm trying to hit it from a few different aspects and try to talk about it from a personal aspect, just to kind of give a good viewpoint on how we should operate, in my opinion, within the desire to be understood by other people. Just a part to like kick it off with is like the feeling that people can kind of get to it, and I feel like this is kind of like more of the extreme side of it, like feeling like nobody understands me. Like that feeling, I feel like there's a lot of people who feel like that. A lot of people, even if you don't feel like that all the time, you have your moments of feeling like, man, look, nobody understands me. I'm going through it or whatever. And like this, I feel like sometimes this feeling can get worse. Like, you know what I mean, if you have like something you're going through and it's like a topic or a subject or something that you always feel like nobody understands you on, those are times when you can kind of go from, I don't feel understood to, man, nobody understand me. Nobody ever understand me. And that's the kind of points of where you want to try to avoid. Because like that repetition can just make it, sometimes even if you feeling that way, it may not be accurate, but the repetition of feeling like nobody understands you can make it feel like so much more than it is. So just being conscious of that, being cautious of that, with that feeling of feeling like, oh, nobody understands me. Y'all don't understand me. You don't get me. And just like slowing yourself down a little bit with it. And even with not being understood, sometimes there's a few different reasons why somebody may not understand you. Like just the way we interact with each other, or the interaction itself can vary on how well, or if we feel like somebody don't understand. Like one, a reason why you may feel like somebody don't understand you, they just literally say, I don't understand. I don't get what you're saying. I don't agree with what you're saying. And for me, that's a huge difference right there. I'll say off the rip. Somebody not understanding you is not the same as somebody not agreeing with you. And I feel like I've interacted with some people who at times I'm like, you're not looking for me to understand you. You want me to agree with you. Like, and that's a different point. Like, it's a difference between agreement and understanding. Like, you don't even understand the point. Like, I can understand your point and I'd agree with you. I mean, making sure you have like a space in between that. Are you looking for agreement or are you looking for understanding? Because if I can understand you and don't agree with you, hey, look, we just got differences in opinions. And I know, like, for myself, like, sometimes I'll try to, like, I want you to get my point so much. It's like, how can you not agree with this? But it's just like, shit, they fully get what I'm saying. They just principally don't agree with it. And it's like, fuck it. You got to have a point in time. Hey, look, you your own person. That's cool. You don't agree with what I feel, but you understand what I'm saying. So, hey, we can wash it off from now. So just some people just sometimes just don't get it. And they'll just say that they don't get it. Other times, like, people can show you with their actions, like how they respond and move back with you. Like, you talk about something and just how they move. And they may not say they don't understand, but you can clearly tell, nah, you don't understand me. Y'all don't get me. You don't get what's going on here. And that's another way they go on. And the last one for me is like, this one a bit more in the territory of like, you want to watch, is when our expectations on what people who understand us would do. Like, if you're in a situation, like, if you understand me, you're going to do this. If you get me, you're going to do this. If you rocking with me, this is what you're going to do. So understand, like, sometimes don't get caught in this is the way somebody going to respond, just because if I feel like you understand me, you're going to do this, because this is what somebody who understands. If I understood, this is what I do. And the thing is, we all individuals. So it's going to be times where in your mind, this is what somebody who understands you will do. But somebody might understand you, but that's just not the reaction or behavior that actually align with them. And hey, shit, that's cool sometimes. We can't all be the same person. And like I said, with that feeling of nobody understands me, you can kind of get to a point of a lifetime of feeling misunderstood can make you you can just assume that you always misunderstood. And like at that point in time, you just walk around with a sense of people not understanding me. And at that point, sometimes you can even get to a point of where you shun and push away when people actually do understand you, or if people give you information, just your response is instantly push away. You don't understand me. You at that point in time, not even giving them room to understand if they understand you. You know what I mean? Little double level type thing right there. You don't understand that they're understanding you because you're so used to being understood. So just giving people the space and not pushing them away. And like staying on the topic of like pushing away, sometimes I feel like we will push people away if we don't feel like they understand us, obviously. So you pushing somebody away because you don't feel like they understand you, but like, why you don't feel like they understand you? Because I know sometimes people, somebody can try to understand us, but if it's not how we feel like it should look, kind of going into one of the other ones, we're going to push them away. Like, oh, nah, I feel like if you understand me, it's going to look like this. If you understand me, it's going to look this way. And shit, you got to be okay with the fact that somebody understanding you, like I said, with the agreement part, if it is looking a different way, don't just push away everybody in the understanding of you. It's going to look different. People going to react different ways. We all so different. And even with the understanding, like we're pushing people away, like I feel like the things you're going to get with somebody who's looking to give understanding, they're going to either use sympathy or empathy. And I ain't gonna lie, them some words that be catching me the fuck up. Like I always know that they different, but they catch me up. And so like basically sympathy is just like somebody who like outside looking in, like they feel bad. Like let's say you're going through something, somebody sympathetic to your situation. They outside feeling bad for you because they like just watching you outside like, oh damn, that look bad, feeling bad. And empathy is more somebody who putting themselves in your shoes, like they feel like the compassion of understanding how bad you feel. So like, oh damn, I can get that. and I feel bad. Like, damn, if I can imagine myself being in that thing in your situation compared to sympathy is somebody outside just looking at you and like, your situation bad. I feel bad for you because you're going through it. And I feel like a lot of times what we looking for is empathy. Because I mean, sympathy is still important too. Like, I mean, it's good. Like, you ain't gotta always put yourself in my shoes and feel bad for me. You can just be like, hey, look, I don't get it all what the fuck you going through, but hey, you going through it. I feel bad that you going through it. But sometimes I feel like people are looking for empathy, and if you don't feel the empathy of somebody who understands where you're coming from, again, with the understanding part, you're gonna push them away. And sometimes I feel like people only, like sometimes when you'll push people away because you feel like you can only understand what I'm talking about if you've gone through what I've gone through. And people who haven't gone through this, I don't care what you got to say. I'm not going to listen to you, and you don't understand me. You can say whatever you got to say, but you don't understand. You just talking, and you'll push away people because you ain't been through it, so you can't talk to me about it. If you ain't been through it, you can't talk to me about it. And don't get me wrong, I feel like there's definitely a level of importance to someone having gone through your experience and someone going through and seeing the things you've done, but it's not the end all be all. It's not just because somebody's gone through it don't mean they understand you. And so building on that, for me, like with people who, when you're feeling like someone has to go through what you're going through, that to me is a level of that's one aspect of a trauma bond. I feel like trauma bond, it may be like a topic in itself just fully, but just speaking right here to one aspect of a type of trauma bond is like shit. When you connecting to somebody just because I feel understood by you because you've gone through the same thing I've gone through. You've experienced this, I've experienced this. Like whether it's an attack, like a sexual attack or something like that, you experience murder, you experience loss. Just anything sometimes when you're feeling like any type form of grief, if you've had that very similar grief, like someone who's lost a parent, talking to somebody else who's lost a parent, you can be like, oh, I get what you got going through. And it's just like, oh, I'm only going to feel understanding from somebody else who's actually lost a parent. And it's like, that's important, but it's not everything. And because the thing is for me with that, you feeling more understood because that person has an understanding of you in that area. And I feel like sometimes if a person has an area of their life, like most people around me understand me in most areas, but it's like one or two areas that I always feel so misunderstood. At those points in time, sometimes we can put a lot of value to those areas. So if somebody come along and we feel understood in those areas, we can put a lot of value on that person. But the thing is, they may not understand these other areas that are super important just as well in my life. And I got buku people who understand me, but now I'm overvaluing this person because this thing to me has meant so much because I've never felt understood right there. And don't overlook those other things. So that can lead to you, one, having too much trust in somebody at one thing, and shit, even with that bond and that trust point, that person can end up manipulating you because you didn't put so much weight to that one thing that now what you felt like was understanding, you can have issues because of the understanding that you perceive you have right there. Like the amount of value that you put on that understanding can lead to that person now being able to manipulate you because, oh, well, they understand me, so if they saying something that's okay, it's like, nah, that person understand you in two aspects. But these other people who love you, who are there for you, who understand these other things, but they just didn't quite get these other things, they actually care for you. So, and it don't mean the other person, somebody who you meet can't, but don't overvalue those things. That's mostly what I'm saying. Like, don't ever take it like, oh, somebody can't come new understanding you and it can be so much important, but don't overvalue a few things when someone understands. If somebody understands you in 90 things, don't put so much value to just 10 things within your life. Understanding the whole, you know what I mean? And even sometimes with the case of like I said, with like the trauma bonding over somebody understanding you in the situation, it can lead, for me, I've seen times where it can lead to a circle because just because someone has experience and has gone through and understands, quote unquote, what you're going through, don't mean they can help you get through what you're going through. Because so often it's like I know like me, sometimes I've had I had a friend or whatever who has a situation to where they're experiencing something or they're having a problem. I personally have not gone through that exact problem, but I've maybe had like similar things in some other kind of aspect, but not close enough to where it can be like, oh yeah, I've gone through what you're going through. But I may can have advice for them that's helpful to that person. But for them, it's just like, you saying this, but you don't understand it. You don't get it. And it's like, I understand what you're saying. I haven't gone through what you're going through, but I understand what you're saying. So at that point in time, they weren't willing to accept that I can understand them just because I haven't gone through what they're saying. So like at that point, I can give you advice on what you're going through, but you are only gonna value advice from somebody who has gone through the exact thing. And the thing is, sometimes those people can have advice, but sometimes the person, if you've gone through, just because you've gone through it, don't mean you can help somebody else get through it. Don't even mean you've gotten through it. You just experienced the issue. So like making sure that person isn't just stuck. Like if somebody is just as stuck in a situation of lack of understanding or working through whatever problem as you are, don't think just because they've experienced it, they understand you to be able to help you. Making sure like if you're having something, they actually are healed, because somebody maybe come in with understanding what you're saying. They can provide you with new information or different information than what you have. Like you might have the thoughts of how you feel about it, and you feel like this person understands you, and now they saying new things to you. But just because it's different things than what the thoughts you've had, don't mean it's better. So make sure you have a discernment. Discernment always gonna come up with me when it comes to talking about things and perceiving shit, is understanding if it's actually different, better information, like actual help you information, or if it's just something that's just different to be different. Just because it's different don't mean it's helping. It might be worse than they thoughts may be actually more detrimental for you than what you have for yourself. So just making sure you doing the discernment to understand shit, making sure when you looking for understanding shit, you do the understanding within yourself and others to make sure you can move better. So yeah, like I said, just find someone who's healed from the experiences that they have, because there's so much value within the case of someone who has gone through what you're going through, but don't just put it purely on the fact they've gone through it so they know. Make sure somebody's healed. Like a healed person is really in my opinion, the only one you should be listening to on some information. If you're scorned from an issue and you're still living within scorn, you can't really help me, because you're only going to give me scorn for advice. If the lifestyle you're living is a scorn lifestyle, I don't want to replicate what you're doing. You're not giving me the way to be better on the other side. You're giving me a way to be vengeful, hateful, whatever, like just a bunch of negative energy. I don't want to replicate your negative energy just because you've gone through it. I want to be on the better side of it. And don't give me your advice of not being on the better side. So like I said, just finding someone who's healed from something. And like kind of like bringing it a little bit on myself. Like the way people perceive us can always have an effect on how they understand us. Like that's just a big part. Their perception of you gonna affect how they understand you. Like so you can literally say some words to somebody, but based on what they think of you, there's a decent chance it's gonna affect how they hear, how they understand whatever you have to say. And like a big part of perception is like past experiences. Like the way some people gonna perceive you is gonna align with, if you do something that align with how somebody else is, like if let's say someone does some, like I joke a lot or whatever. So if someone has experienced somebody who joke a lot and is like, oh, if you joke a lot in this kind of way, how he doing, that means you this kind of person. Or let's say you, like whatever it can be. It ain't got to be that exact thing, or it ain't got to be like how I am, but people will see you through the lens of the past, because that's the only thing we have as people. You have your past experiences to go toward the future. So understanding that when it comes to like how people perceive us. And like I said, like for me personally, I have a lot of loved ones who I know they have like judgments on how my character is, and they judge the parts of my character that, I mean, they might be loved ones and close, but you ain't seen me in this kind of space. So, but you got an opinion about who I am, or like have a thought on like how I am or my behaviors, or how I am as a person, based off of behaviors that you just assume mean, or if he act like this, then he's this, and it's like it ain't that. But I'm okay with that, cause like for me, like I said with this, I've personally grown with not being with I've grown to just accept not being understood. And personally, like for me, I haven't been a person who always had the mindset of like, oh, I want to be understood. Because I know I've spoken to people like, all I really want is just to be understood. Like they'll literally even say, I just want you to understand what I'm saying. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. Myself, I haven't thought of it that way, but shit, of course, like I said, with this topic, being understood is an important thing for everybody. So I've, of course, moved in ways like, oh, damn, I want you to understand. Or I explain myself looking for understanding. But like I said, some of my closest friends, people who I love, people who I know aspects about me, it's still plenty of areas where I feel misunderstood. I feel like they don't understand me, like they don't get what I'm saying. And for me, I've just grown to accept, man, that's cool, dog. It's cool that you don't get me right here. In this aspect, I'm cool. I ain't finna be mad that you don't get or understand where I'm coming from right here. That's cool. And I've always kind of moved in a way where I'm okay with people not understanding me. But I want to say like more recently, I've become conscious that that's what I'm doing. I've like becoming more conscious and like even like being able to vocalize to myself, hey, look, they don't understand me, but that's cool. Like being like, hey, look, I know I got friends like I die for, I kill for, ride for, and I'm pretty sure they'll do the same for me. But it's like in every aspect of being AO, they don't understand that, and man, that's cool. Cause you just can't. So like people not understanding me, I understand that just because somebody may not understand a certain aspect of me don't mean that they don't care for me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we equate people understanding you to mean that they care, love you, those type of things. But just understanding that's not the end all be all to whether or not somebody cares about you. You can still care about me and not understand exactly what I'm saying or exactly what I'm going through, but you still care. You trying to be there. You just don't understand it, and that's all right. So like I said, we all different. So it's just like it's a case by case situation as to whether or not somebody understands what you're going for. Experience or an example within my life that like I like to hit on. I don't know, y'all hear a little barking in the background. I'm over here babysitting the dog and shit. Motherfucking Rooski acting up and shit. But yeah, so I'm a couple years removed from like a long-term relationship and shit like that, right? With being in a long-term relationship, years and shit put in, I'm used to somebody who knows me on a lot of different things. Like you understand me, they get my character. This person understands enough of who I am at my core. So like that's the experience. That's what I've had. That's how I daily move as far as like the significant person in my life. That person understands enough of me at my core. Obviously, we're not together for reasons, so it ain't all work out. But I'm moving. They understand me. They understand enough of me. If I do something, they understand like what my heart or how over those things may be. So that mean, hey, couple years. I mean, I'm out here dating. I mean, I'm out here talking to new people. I'm out here moving around. When I'm dating somebody new, they don't know shit about me. You got the perception, like you might see me, but like, oh, look at that tall ass nigga. That nigga kind of killed, yeah. Got them locks falling and shit. Got them melanin popping and shit. You know what I mean? Hey, that's what they gonna be seeing. But they don't know how my character is. They don't know how my person is. And for me, person as gorgeous as I think I am, my character means so much more to me. That's the most important thing to me. Like when it come to dating, like I can never be with somebody if I don't respect your character, your principles, who you are on the inside. Like a beautiful outside gonna be what it be, but I mean, I ain't finna date you ugly to me. I don't think a lot of people are ugly. But yeah, I obviously ain't gonna be with you ugly, but the inside shit, that's the shit that a motherfucker gotta deal with, gotta interact with. That's the piece that somebody can provide to you. So that's what's gonna mean the most for me. But like with dating people, I personally, at this point, because I've spent so long in a relationship with people, someone who understands most of the core of me, I don't want to deal with some, like bad assumptions, like especially like seeing how the dating scene, like how fucked up some niggas is out here. I don't want nobody having a bad assumption. So something I do, I want a clear understanding of me on like a lot of subjects. Like, hey, this is what I believe on this. I ain't never cheated. This blah blah blah. I don't believe in these kind of things. Hey, look, the thing is, a lot of people cheat out here. A lot of people do a lot of things out here. So my mindset, like, I'm gonna get ahead of this shit. I'm gonna tell you how the fuck I am. Let me let you know, hey, this is the nigga you dealing with. You know what I mean? So I try to explain the man and person that I am to like very early on, like trying to be clear about this, like oversharing information kind of about myself to kind of provide a sense of who you getting to get understanding. But the shit is, it don't work that way. No matter how much like me kind of growing understanding like more, and I mean, it's still something to struggle with because I want to be understood like any fucking body else, but just understanding it don't work that way. You can't just explain your way or just provide or tell somebody enough about you to just be like, hey, they get me. Now, some people would, and they will like be like, oh yeah, okay, I think I know you because of that. And shit, if I'm being honest, like I probably should be cautious of somebody who think they know me because of some things I say, because it's like experience me is where you really gonna know me. And that's the thing with that. People lie like a motherfucker. A lot of people lie, and I may not be the biggest liar. Like I don't like lying a lot. One, I'm too lazy to fucking lie. I don't want to lie, and I like being honest. So on most situations, I'm gonna probably, even though it could have been more convenient for me to lie to you, I'm gonna probably want to tell you the truth just because like I don't feel like fucking lying. Can we just deal with the truth and like work through it? That's how I feel in a lot of situations. So the thing is, that may be the case, but with me trying to provide so much and be so upfront and honest in the beginning and tell somebody about myself, like being upfront and honest is good, but understanding a lot of motherfuckers lie, and this person who I'm talking to may not know I'm a fucking liar. So while I'm trying to like, oh, I'm gonna tell you about this and how I'm a good guy and this and this and this, is like they taking it in, is like, all right, cool, yeah, nigga, still don't know about you. And it's like understanding it because people can fucking lie. And I feel like personally at this point, the reason I want to work on this is this shit can come off like I'm trying to sell myself, like I'm trying to upsell myself or whatever. And that ain't what I'm trying to do. But that's probably how I come off. Like, if I'm being honest, that's probably what somebody or some people who done like dated me or something, and I done that, and been like, this nigga trying to sell himself. Who the fuck he think he is? Matter of fact, the fact that he's selling himself probably make him seem like he ain't shit, and that may not be the case, but I can get how somebody could be perceiving that when I'm just trying to be upfront and honest, like, hey, look, I got this is the situation, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this nigga trying to spin it and make it seem like it's all sweet. It's like, nah, man, I'm just trying to be honest on these things right here. But that level of upfrontness could kind of, for me, just kind of growing and realizing I'm looking to try to hurry up and get understanding when my desire to be understood, you know what I mean? It's kind of like making me do some shit that's not really gonna get the understanding that I'm looking for. And the thing is, like, at that point, what I'm doing, I'm trying to skip the learning phase. And the thing is, life requires learning. Like, with so much shit, I ain't even gonna make that a deeper part, but it requires learning. You can't just force something in. You got to go through a learning process. Some processes are learning quicker, but for somebody to know me, care about me, love me, eventually get to that kind of point, you got to experience it. And I can't just overly explain it to that point. So for me, like, growing to understand, hey, bro, you can't rush and force understanding in certain situations. So for me, just more accepting, hey, it's aspects that you're going to be misunderstood or there's not understanding about. Give it time. It's some aspects nobody ever going to understand, but that's all right. And with that statement, like, nobody ever gonna understand, I'm going to, like, my last point with this, never fully feeling understood. Like, I personally don't think full understanding of something is optimistic, but I don't think it's attainable. Like, I don't think you can fully understand anything. And that's cool for me, like I said. Like, science to me is something, like, science is based on facts. It's supposedly, like, everything here is hard facts. It's scientific. We can prove it, blah, 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 blah. Run it. Hey, cool. It's plenty of scientific shit, plenty of shit they done proven and then going back with. But amongst them discoveries and shit they done had, there are times when something new will come up later on, and what we done stood on principle of, like, hey, nah, this is a fact. This is a scientific fact. Later on, it's like, damn, nah, you know, based on this new shit we have, that fact ain't so much the case. So understanding even to that point of what something that we felt, we just solidly understood, man, new information can come through and change it and show you, hey, it ain't quite what it was. And there's plenty of shit that may have been the case for 1,000 years, but it's some shit that might have been the case for 1,000 years, and on the year 1,001, fuck it all the way up. Some shit we think we understand for 10 years, shit, day 10, day 1, or whatever the fuck. I ain't got time to be doing math in my head. I hate trying to do math while talking and shit. Fuck me up. But yeah, y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, new information can come through, and what we understood as being a fact, it can change. So understanding is never just fully attainable with things, and that's okay. Like, even another example, like, you know what I mean? I got God is dope, a dope little God shirt, you know what I mean? I believe in God. But even with that, I don't try to understand God because I don't try to be like, I'm going to eventually fully understand all God principles or all reasons of why. Because I will never be God, and God thoughts are beyond me, you know what I mean? I'm okay with it. Like, I ain't the type of person who like, what's the meaning of life? I want to get to the understand of these things, man. Look, some shit, bro, you just gotta live life. And while you out here grasping to fully get this other shit, man, that shit ain't obtainable, and that's cool. Like, don't get caught up, like, for me, don't get caught up trying to get the full understanding of everything. Sometimes the experience is more important than the understanding. Like, I don't gotta know what the fuck going on, but I know I like it. And that's good enough, man. And that's just how I feel with shit. So, like, I've never been on a mindset of, like, I want to fully understand life and why and all these things, because it's like, man, every why that you have will not have an answer, and fuck it, man. It's cool. Wrapping up with it, like, for me, I feel like nobody will ever fully understand you because nobody can be you and nobody can think just like you. Like, that's the thing with understanding. Though you have people who understand you with certain aspects of certain things, nobody's you. So don't put on anybody the pressure of fully understanding you because they not you, so they cannot understand everything to the level or aspect or think about it the way you think about it. Because we are individualistic. And though sometimes y'all motherfuckers, other people who I deal with get on my nerves, it's like understanding, appreciating the fact that you different can, like, be a better spot. Like, matter of fact, hold on a second. A conversation I recently had with somebody was talking about, like, how I am when it comes to, like, medical serious situations. And they was like, damn, you really ain't that good in those situations. Like, as to deciding whether or not you need to go to a hospital or ER or some shit. And I was like, I really ain't, because I grew up the way I grew up. Thank the Lord, I had a healthy body. I have a decent immune system. I ain't broke no body, no things like that. I had sprains, everything, unless it was, like, beyond. Like, I had never went to an emergency room before I had a car accident, and I had a few of them. But I think like my first one, the only time I ever myself went to a ER for. And the thing is, with it, I grew up with a mindset, hey, if something happened, like I done had like skin come off, all kind of things, burns, significant amount of things that most people probably would have went to the hospital for. I grew up, my mama just handled it at the crib, man. We had a bread like that, so I'm pretty sure we was on like healthcare and shit like that. So I'm pretty sure it's times when we probably could have went, but a lot of shit just got handled at the crib. So that's my mindset, like unless you dying, like something internally that I can't see, man, I feel like you're probably good. But the thing is, me understanding, like myself, like I've heard enough stories about things like, oh damn, it's a good thing this person went to the hospital to check on something, and they found out and they caught it early, and they was able to fix the situation. But for me, my default is, nah, that shit good, man. We thugging, we can handle that at the crib. Like I know, like when I had COVID, before I like my fever was getting up there, and I was holding for a few days, and like I said, this is back when I was in a relationship or whatever, and they was like, hey, look, man, you need to go to the hospital. I think you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, man, fuck, I'm good, dog. We just hold that shit down. Let's just let it chill for a second, you know what I mean? That's the energy I was on. And like they was more concerned because them having an understanding and knowledge of, hey, bro, if your fever hit a certain temperature and you hold it for long enough, you need to go to the hospital. But I ain't never been through that. My health reasons, that ain't my decisions. That ain't what I'm thinking to do. But like, for me, I understand that's not something I'm good at. I need somebody who fucking good, understanding medical shit. You understand when this is a medical emergency when I don't, because I'm plenty of times not going to understand that. So like for me, just understanding that type of thing, like within myself, I don't understand that. I need somebody who better understand it. I don't really even know how I initially got on this, because this is definitely a side point that was not written down, but I'm keep going from this, but I have no clue how I got on this, and now I'm trying to like rap, like what point am I trying to make? But fuck it, I said what I said. Hopefully I took something from that, and we can keep on going to the very last point on this. The biggest thing, like with the nobody fully understanding you, is beyond the fact that nobody's just like you and they can understand you. Another reason to like have a cautiousness with like understanding. Look, man, we constantly better understanding our fucking selves. Like you better understanding you every day. If you know that you are if you finding a better understanding of yourself, like I know I got a great understanding. I'm very self-aware, but I know it's still plenty of times where like situations happen and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, bet. Okay, I'm kind of like this. This is something that's a little bit within me. I'm better understanding me. It is unrealistic to think that somebody else gonna just understand every aspect of me. Like if I'm learning me, shit, you gotta learn me. I can't think you gonna know everything. You might have peeped something about me and understand something about me that I ain't peeped yet sometimes, but you can't have every nuance, because shit, I'm still learning so many nuances. There's no way, you know what I mean? So just give people the grace and understanding that full understanding is not the goal, just enough understanding. Prioritizing enough understanding and just being cool with the fact that certain aspects in life, nobody ever gonna fully understand you, and that's so fucking okay. And on that note, man, that's the end of the event. You feel me? Rocking with your boy, Ayo. All right, so y'all already know what we do after we vent, after we woosah, get all this shit up out of us. What we do is we go and get better, not better. And when we get better, not better, what we doing is trying to get better, not better. So we got a little quote. I'm going to quote this for you. Let me go ahead and run it off for you. It's easier to say it than to do it, but sometimes you have to hear it said to know you can do it. Let me tell you one more motherfucking time for the people in the back and for the late people, since I was late trying to be great. It's easier to say it than to do it, but sometimes you have to hear it said to know you can do it. And like I said, the point of why it's phrased that way and why I say it that way, it applies to so many things within life. But within this show right here, this podcast that I do, everything I'm doing, I'm talking to y'all, maybe giving examples or whatever. But hey, look, man, with all I'm doing is like giving these conversations, and the shit make it sound so easy. But everything, man, growth take time and effort, and that shit's hard. But shit, if you don't hear it or some examples or you don't experience it, you ain't gonna know that that's what you need to do to get better. So we're gonna forever focus on that quote so that we prioritize and understand. Just because somebody giving it to us, don't take none of the shit I take in and like, oh, I can't do that. Nah, man, you can. You just give yourself time, but you gotta know that you can do it. So I want y'all to always know that shit. So like wrapping up this topic right here with the better not better, understanding that understanding is finicky. Like it's so many times of like where you expect to understand it. Like, man, understanding is so picky, pick and choose. Folks understand parts, they don't understand other parts. It's a finicky thing. Understanding is not an absolute kind of situation. And not being understood can happen so easily. Like just as easy as like somebody can understand you on something. It's so easy for someone to like a smaller detail cause somebody not to understand. And it's just like shit, that's okay sometimes. I think the important thing is identifying people who truly try to understand us. That's a real big thing. Like on the case of like, oh, this person don't understand me. Understanding when somebody trying to understand you. Like, they may not get there, but are you trying to truly understand me? And when we are looking for understanding and looking for help for somebody, identifying people who can truly help us and not just empathize with us. Like, just, I want you to empathize and I love you, care for me, but don't prioritize the help of somebody who doesn't have a way to actually get you on the other side. They just have information and details about it, but it's not things that's gonna actually help you be better. Don't be sad and sadness with somebody else. Like, it's good to like go through emotional crying or whatever you need to, I'm saying. But the other side and the good side of it is what you want to have, somebody who can actually help you. And that might be someone who hasn't gone through what you've gone through, but they can actually help you with it. So that's the goal with that. And the overall goal with everything right here is just accepting and understanding that you will not always be understood. And it's so fucking okay. That's the biggest thing. You will not always be understood, but that's okay. People still can love and care for you without having full understanding of you. And they'll never fully understand you. You'll never fully understand yourself. But we just trying to live. We going through this experience of life. And full understanding ain't necessary to fully enjoy and experience this life that we have. Believe that. You feel me? You did. All right, man, so let's go ahead, cut up, get up out of this bitch, man. Y'all already know you rocking with the StoryHouse show. Make sure y'all do all that shit that you know you're supposed to do. Fuck with me on like the socials, and you know what I mean, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Twitter, the YouTubes, whatever the fuck, man. Y'all know the social media platforms. It's StoryHouse, all one word, StoryHouse.xo. If you want to fuck with your boy AO as well, man, it's AO forever, AEO forever. All social platforms, same thing with the StoryHouse show. Except for fucking YouTube, it's StoryHouse_XO. I don't know if they ever gonna let me fix that shit, but whatever. Probably fuck around, let some other nigga just slide in and take my shit. But yeah, I mean, yeah. With the YouTube, man, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so that you can get reminded whenever this shit drop and everything. If you listen to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anything else that take reviews, please make sure you leave a review for me. That shit mean a lot for me, like on all content that I make. That shit actually make a fucking difference. So leave a review, 5-star reviews. Bad shit don't help a nigga, obviously, for obvious reasons. And if you got some shit you want to write up in them comments, man, with the review, leave some nice shit. Leave your nice, wordy shit right there. If you got some fuck shit that you want to have, man, send that shit to my DM. Hit me with a comment on social media, whatever fuck shit you want to say. Don't leave it on the fucking review site, man. You know what I mean? Fuck with a nigga. Like, come on, dog. You know you can't leave that shit over there, man. Leave that shit on the bullshit. Leave that shit for the niggas that's like, that shit just wash away. Don't put that motherfucker where niggas gonna come through. Let me see how good the show is. And now you hating and shit. Acting like a little hoe. Acting like a little... Nah, you know. Nah, man. I already know, man. I really ain't got too much more. I'm running and rambling and shit, man. Look, dog, it's a StoryHouse show. You been rocking with your boy Ayo. I'm happy that y'all came. Y'all welcome y'all in the house. Hey, look, I know we was running late. Things didn't happen how it's supposed to, but hey, it don't always go down how we thought it was gonna go down, but it still went the fuck down, and that's what happened right here. Now y'all know y'all got a better understanding, so y'all understand that there ain't always gonna be an understanding, but we gonna get that motherfucking understanding sometimes. And right now we got it. You feel me? We rocked. We did what we was supposed to. Y'all been in here. We love. We drank a little water. Did a little thing. Still with love. I mean, when the show get big and all that shit, for a motherfucker to be like, oh, dang, you know, hey, you been drinking our water for a minute. We gonna fuck with you. We gonna tap in with you. Be like, hey, baby, shit, you know what a nigga do. Hey, you hear me? But yeah, that type of shit. And on that note, I ain't really got too much more, man. So that means y'all gotta get the fuck up out of here. I appreciate y'all pulling up and showing up with your nigga, but y'all gotta get the fuck about the StoryHouse show. Get the fuck out the door. I always point this way because y'all don't know it, but shit is like the door over there. So like, that's about my default. I be looking at the door and I be like, hey, I can get the fuck out the door. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all coming up in here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was supposed to do, but fuck it. If it is, I forgot, man. Shit, it is what it is. Thank y'all for coming in the StoryHouse show. You rocking with your boy Ayo, man. It's all love. Be easy. We out.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just hoping it would change. I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, ain't like